Hey everyone, and welcome to this video. So today, I actually saw a news article on Facebook, and it kind of surprised me. I never thought I'd see this, but at the same time not surprised at all. The article I saw was about race cars. They are trying to ban race cars now. Not like NASCAR, I don't think, but because they didn't say custom-built race cars, but the converting of a street car into a race car. Like, say, your Sunfire or your Civic, and taking it, gutting the interior out, putting a roll bar in it, and using it for at your local track. You get a $1,500 car, or yours is just no good for the road, and you just want to have fun with it for like a year until the transmission or engine blows up. Really, what's the harm gonna be, right? That's how we view it. Now, how the EPA views it, they view it as you're wasting fuel, you're making a lot of greenhouse gases, and you are making a lot of bad things. Now, what they don't think about is the fact that these cars have modern technology in them. The modern technology of O2 sensors. Now, I'm not saying that everyone does this, but I think a lot of these cars still have to have O2 sensors in them nowadays. And they have to have cat converters because of those O2 sensors. Like, for my car, it's a 2009 Ford Fusion. Now, it has the 2.3 liter, which has a O2 sensor before the cat converter and an O2 sensor after. Now, I'm not 100% sure if every car does this, but I know some cars will bog down power if they don't have both O2 sensors working right. And if it senses no second O2 sensor, you go into limp mode. Lovely electronics of new cars. Yeah, it's just, I think it's ridiculous. People can have fun, and to be honest, I think racing a race car that you converted yourself as a project, that hobby of taking it, turning it into a race car, then going to race it, that's a lot better of a hobby than a lot of other hobbies I can think of people doing. Why is the government trying to stop it? Now, what I'm willing to bet they'll do, though, they will allow it again. It'll be like the HOV lanes. They were originally HOV lanes for 2 or more people. Or I think they started off as carpool lanes. But yeah, they'll start out like that. But now, they are going to be renting those lanes out, kinda. If you're a one-person car, you can pay a fee to drive in that lane. Now, what I'm thinking they'll do, well, actually, yeah, not done. That kind of defeats the purpose of an HOV lane. Now, what I think they'll do with the racing thing is kind of similar. I'm thinking they'll make up a tax, some bullshit tax, that will say, you can race, but you have to pay X amount of dollars per year to have a race car and be able to modify it, and you have to get it inspected and everything and make sure all the emission stuff is there, and it has to have a quiet exhaust, and they'll just regulate the shit out of it so much that it'll ruin the fun of it. That's what I think they'll do, because they love money. They're money hungry. Now, what they also don't consider, I don't think, is that, I'm not saying every one of these cars does this, but I know a few people that had race cars, and all they simply do is take out all the glass, take out all the guts of the doors, take out the seats, the center console, the spare tire, all the door panels, the headliner, all the flammables inside the car. And they just leave the bare basics of the driver's seat, the steering wheel, and the bare dash. No radio, no climate controls, no heater core, nothing. So they get rid of all that stuff. Which, oh yeah, and they also get rid of the heat shields, the exhaust after the cat, the plastic shields underneath the car, all the extra stuff that you don't need. They just ditch it, really. Because it's all going to fall off as soon when you get into a collision anyways, and it's just going to get torn off anyways. Now what I know a few people have done is just they gut out the interior. Now that's probably 700 to 1,000 pounds of interior and plastics and heat shields and exhaust taken off the car. Given so, they do have to weld a roll bar in there. That's probably another 200 back, maybe 300, depending on the aggressiveness of your roll bar. Sometimes they could probably be 500 pounds. So yeah, they pretty much leave the car stock a lot of times, including the cat converter for the O2 sensors, and just drive them emptied out of the weight, and they feel like they gain a lot because the horsepower to weight ratio is changed, and it's a bigger amount of horsepower for the weight of the car. And as far as the engines go, I know some people have done modifications. Like, they'll put a tune on it, they'll do a high performance air filter, they'll run higher octane fuels, they'll do stuff like that. But as far as I've known, they haven't really done a whole lot other than that. And there's regulations to how much horsepower, in some races at least, that you can have. There's regulations that they set and rules they set. If you have more than a certain amount of power and more than a certain amount of speed, you have to have a roll bar. If you have more than a certain amount of power, you have to join a different class. And you have to pay for that class. So a lot of times people don't want to modify it excessively because that means they just have to pay more. Like, more in order to race their car per year. But yeah, that's, I think it's ridiculous. I don't think they should do it at all because it's fun and they don't need to do it. They're just getting money hungry again. Anyways, guys, I'm nearing up on 8 minutes now. So, I'm going to call this the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and share the video, as well as subscribe for more. I also do automotive vlogs. Well, this is an automotive vlog. Walkarounds, junkyard videos, new and used car walkarounds, actually. And whenever I get the chance to, I do how-to videos. Have a great day, everyone.